I'm gonna record. Hey guys, Dean here, Fsbo Hot Sheet. Thanks so much for checking in. Today I'm gonna do something a little bit special. I've got Devin Tryan from Hawaii, specifically Devin from what island?
Honolulu, Oahu.
Beautiful Oahu, Hawaii. So if you guys are watching this, you've got clients out there. If you want to send them up his way, he would love to take care of your clients. He'll give you a little shout out here of his phone number and where he's at exactly towards the end. But I thought I'd interview Devin today. Devin's a baller, does tons of business in Hawaii. I started with Devin coaching him, I don't know, what would have been 5-7 years ago, maybe. Yeah, when he was just like, I'm going to call him the baby of real estate. And now he's exploded into this, really, great agent, solid agent, more consistent agent from doing a lot of consistent things. So I just want to interview him today and ask him kind of like 4 or 5 questions about for sale by owners. His niche is more for sale by expireds, but he does for sale by owners also. So Devin, I just want to ask you a few questions. If you could tell the audience here. So when you work for sell by owners / expireds, you do call them.
100%.
Good. Do you send them anything?
No, typically not.
Good. And do you go see them?
100%. You have to.
Good. So give us an example of what's a basic script when calling. So you get the data from me or another source, whatever, and you get the data. So is your theme and your cycle to call those for sale by owners, or do you text them? What's typically kind of your routine?
Okay, so here it is. A lot of people get the Fsbos and expireds wrong. They do 2 huge mistakes I see. Number 1 is they do the bait and switch. People don't like it. They know it. If you show up, you say I have a buyer, and then you don't have a buyer, they're going to call you on that bullshit. Nobody likes that. Second issue that a lot of these guys make is they try and sell them over the phone. They're trying to get them to sign a listing on the very first phone call, or they're trying to get them to, they get on the phone, they want them to sign with them. That's not the strategy. Dean, all it is the only reason you're doing the phone call is to get the appointment. That's the whole reason you're calling them. So whether that means you get your foot in the door and you preview it, or whether that means you go on a full-blown listing appointment, that's the only purpose you're calling them. So the strategy sounds like this. It's ring. Hi, is this Dean? Hi, Dean. This is Devin Tryan at eXp Realty, Pineapple Real Estate Group. Hey, just saw this property you have for sale. Tell me the story on that. Chit chat with them, build rapport, find out what the story is. When they ask if you have a buyer, tell them I work with a lot of buyers, but really I'm a pretty heavy listing agent, and I was surprised to see yours come up, and I like to know the area. Could I stop over and check it out myself? It's straight to the point.
You don't promise a buyer because you don't have one, because you haven't seen the property.
If you have, in this market, it's pretty easy for us now to have a buyer, but I'm not promising them. I'm just telling them, hey, I know this market. I'm a heavy listing agent. I'd like to be one of the first people to see it. Is that okay with you? Yeah, sure. Come on over. Then when you're in person, you ask them the harder questions. You do 2 things. One, you want to build value. You want to provide really great advice on ideas of what they can do to list a home. Typically, when I show up, my whole theme to the for sale by owners is, have you ever thought about doing this? Let me send you my photographer's number. I think a drone shot from right here above with the mountains and the pool in the background, that would really sell this place. And I think with the photos you have, they're really good, but we could definitely bring it from a 10 to 11. And just asking these questions and getting them excited about your marketing strategy, and then asking them point blank, because right now in this market, if you don't get the listing signed right away, they're going to get offers on it. So asking them point blank, hey, if I could get you more money for this property in your pocket, would you consider listing with me? And then it's basically objection handlers all the way through, and then say, you know what, now that I had the chance to see it, it's way nicer than I even expected. Let me do this. I want to do some numbers on it. Is it okay if I pull some numbers, come back tomorrow morning, meet with you, and show you what we can do to get this property sold? And that is the best strategy, because it allows you to build a little rapport. You're not asking for a lot in the very beginning, but then you come back the next morning and you're fully prepared. You know what you're going into, and they know it's an actual listing appointment. And typically people are pretty open about it if you pitch it in the idea that I want to come back and show you what we could do to get this sold. Well, no, we're really not. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so it sounds like you are, and I teach this a lot also with for sale by owners, is like you want to bring to them things that they're not doing, show them information that they don't know. You want to show up as, hey, I'm the expert. You guys are doing you guys are doing a good job. Here's how we can improve that, some idea. It still doesn't mean you're going to get the listing though, but no. You want to kind of have them walk away like, this guy's on top of his game. He knows what he's doing. I loved his ideas. They still may do it on their own for a few days,
Mhm.
but your whole job is to show value, get them excited, and then not be afraid to ask. The question you asked him was, again, I want the audience to hear it.
Uh, if I could get you more money for this property, would you consider listing with me? I'm not asking for them to list. I'm not asking for a commitment. Hey, would you think about it?
Because
Yeah,
it's
think about it.
because it's an open end, it's kind of an open, it's not an open-ended question, but it's a question of that brings to the next question. Well, what is that? What do you mean you can get me more? What does that look like? And that is the plan for, let me run some numbers.
That's
Let me come back.
exactly why we need to get together. And I've got to do a little bit of research. I want to make sure I know what I'm looking at and make sure we get the most amount of money for it.
Okay, so I want to date this video. It's February 26, 2021. As you said just a second ago, it's a fast moving market. Some of them do sell it on their own. If you called back and let's say 3 or 4 days pass by or a week passes by and you still haven't gotten that appointment or gotten the listing, do you follow up?
You've got to follow up. I mean, even in this market, if you don't follow up, you're not going to get the appointment. I mean, yeah.
I'm going to follow up. Hey, Devin, it's Dean. Just following up. We met. Hey, how's it going on your house? Have you guys got any offers on it? And is it sold? And they say, hey, we did get a contract on it. Have you already kind of primed the pump there on, if you guys sell this home, where are you moving to? Could I be that agent to help you go from here? Do you need an agent on the other side?
That's a good question. I don't really think about that up front, but I do. I always ask their motivation. Hey, where are you guys going? What's the reason for the big move? And then if that ends up on the other side, that's a really good point. I've actually never had a for sale by owner that I did not represent that I helped buy, but doesn't mean it's, I mean, it's very likely possible.
Are they usually moving out of state or?
The ones I've worked with have always moved out of state.
Okay, because you're in Hawaii, you're kind of in a different,
Yeah,
it's a different thing. Yeah, very good. Do you guys have a lot of for sale by owners there in Oahu right now, or Hawaii?
we do not right now. Just the market's pretty low
It's tight.
inventory, but yeah, it's we used to, and it'll come back. It'll shift again.
Like expireds, like for sale by owners, there's not an abundance because the market's it's tight. But there is some opportunity there, and
Oh
your
yeah,
main
tell me.
job, call
A guy,
them.
so a guy on my team right now, he called the for sale by owner, got the appointment, showed up. It was like the day of, and brought the buyer directly. We signed a contract. He signed a contract for him that night. Opened escrow, and yeah, we got it. I mean, it's
So let's look at the reverse angle real quick. You could be calling for sell by owners to get them to list. That's typically more of a normal market where there's a lot of them and you can work them, and because they're not selling on their own.
mhm.
It's a fast and furious market now. Again, February 26, 2011. So even a good strategy is, a lot of us have buyers. We should really be calling the for sale by owners saying, I'm not saying I have the buyer for you. I have a buyer. I'd love to bring them by if I need to preview the property first. That's a very good angle as well in this market, because you could
Mhm.
put together a deal pretty quick.
Absolutely. That's it.
Very good. So call them, go see them.
Mhm.
Um, Worldwide pandemic, about going to see them. How are you handling that? I know people say, well, you can't go see anybody. Is that true, or what do you do?
I mean, Hawaii's pretty great. I mean, we're not too difficult with any of that, so we haven't stopped anything. Yeah, we just wear a mask and that's it.
Okay, good. So just protocol.
Yeah, yeah.
Awesome. Good for you. One last thing. Is there a specific script you use, or is it just a learned thing over the years you've been doing?
It's more of a flow than a script because they can take you all off the path, but it's you just need to hit the points. You need to find out their motivation. You need to find out why they're trying to sell on their own, and then you need to get the appointment. And so whether that's they talk to you about their house they're selling and they're really direct about it, or you call them and just say, "Hey, Dean, can I come take a look at it?" And they just say, "Sure," and that's the end of the call. Either way is fine as long as you get your foot in the door. Yeah.
Awesome. Two more questions. I'm a new agent calling for sell by owners. What would you say is really the most important thing being new? I'm a little uncomfortable calling them. What would be your advice to a new agent?
Yeah, you need to have an accountability partner. Find an agent on the mainland that you script practice with, that you go over, you practice these calls. So that way, the first time you call them, you've done it before, you know what they're going to say. There's only a few things they can say. And then you and that agent should hold each other accountable. And maybe it's you call Dean, I call, and then we're FaceTiming while we're doing it or Zooming. And we're like, okay, that wasn't a very good one. That was a really good one. I got an appointment. Just, you need the accountability.
So it's like driving a car. You don't want to get in the car and be all nervous and not, you're
Yeah,
thinking
you need
about
all
the
three.
whole
Yeah,
experience.
yeah.
It's better if you get in a car and you're just driving unconsciously, meaning you're not thinking how to do it. You're just operating, and that's your level of comfort calling for sub owners right now.
Yeah, and there are people too. They're usually pretty nice.
Awesome. Hey, Devin, I heard a little secret. Can I ask you
Yeah.
something?
All right,
I
hit
heard
me.
that you opened a gym.
Yeah. So High Climb will be open in May, 2 months, 60 days out. 17,500 square feet, 8,000 square feet of climbing, top rope, lead, bouldering, the whole shebang.
Now,
So
wait a
yeah,
minute.
dude,
You're a real estate agent. So is this a venture for you or a business adventure?
whole nother venture, dude. This is $1.5 million investment that has just 2 years in the works. Yeah. Big passion project. Excited about it. We don't have one in here in Hawaii. It's overdue. So it's the
I'm
market
a
for it.
passionate climber myself, so I'm super stoked when I saw it. I'm like,
Thank you.
I
Dude,
got told my wife, I go, we got to get out to Hawaii, man, and go climbing with Devin, man. It sounds pretty cool. Hey,
that's
man,
awesome.
hey, congratulations, you. Super proud of you. I want to thank you for just sharing about a couple of minutes with with our audience and our clients. And as always, guys, if you got customers that are going to Hawaii or have anybody going to Hawaii, find Devin. He'll take care of him. He's a great agent.
Hey, appreciate it, man.
Hey, thanks,
Appreciate
buddy. Take care. Alrighty, bye-bye.